Welcome to WVTC TV Network, capturing family moments in real time, bringing families closer together from the comforts of home. We are unleashing something different to the world. Start your subscription today for the low price of $4.99 per month or $55 annually. Go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com to sign up today. WVTC TV Network is streaming live on 8 different platforms. You can easily download the WVTC TV Network app on the Apple Store, Play Store, Roku, Fire TV, and more. Here at WVTC TV, we have access to movies that everyone can enjoy, including independent films, Sons of a Preacher and a Good Thing, Treasures of Life, the epic drama, The Passion of the Christ, and the box office hit Madagascar Escape to Africa. Remember, go to www.wvtctvnetwork.com and sign up today.
Here you go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back in the building, guys. It is another Monday. It is another mind transformational, mind motivational, get your life right Monday. And I got right here next to me my sis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
Welcome back.
Monday.
Happy Monday. Welcome back.
It's on this drizzly little Monday morning. It's all cloudy and stuff, but God is good, right?
God is good, but we in the building, sis. And we back together.
Yes.
Back together again. And we matching.
Hey.
My nails is matching her jacket. Great minds think alike. When you woke up this morning, how did you feel, sis?
I felt relieved.
You felt relieved?
I felt relieved. I know Jesus today.
You know Jesus. You felt relieved that you knew Jesus today. Okay.
We alive today.
Guess what? It is April.
I know.
No, almost. Tomorrow.
Almost.
Tomorrow we're going into April. So today is the last day of March.
The first quarter is ending.
Wow. Did you say it like that?
The first quarter is ending. What have you done?
What have you done?
What have you done?
I've done a lot
in these last 3 months.
Man, I've done some shedding. I've done some purging. I've done some breaking down. I've done some rebuilding. I've done some mind motivational things. I've done some, perspective changing. So I've rebuilt some things. I've rebuilt some things.
So you kicked off the new year well.
I don't know if I kicked it out well, but
we accomplished some stuff.
We
accomplished some things.
I'm coming through strong. And like I said a couple of weeks before, I read out this will be the weakest I will ever be. I really meant that at that moment. And so 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going into April. And speaking of March 31st, let me say happy birthday. I want to say happy birthday to a few people before I forget. Because, when you start getting to a certain season in your life, your mind go all over the place. I ain't going to say you lose things, but your mind be excited. Yeah. See, don't y'all? Your mind be excited. So sometimes you think of something, you got to say it while you think of it. So happy birthday to all of my March people, as well as my girlfriend, Babette. Happy birthday to Joy. We celebrated her last week. So, it's Aries season.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends that are Aries. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I got some Aries birthday parties to go to and celebrate the Aries. My daughter is an Aries. Her birthday just passed on March 26th.
Okay, so
14-year-old.
Why you looking like that?
Because I can't believe she's grown almost.
Yo, I thought you was like this. Yeah, the 14-year-old. Like what type of celebration did y'all have?
I took a go-kart riding.
Okay.
Her and her friends, and that was a good time for her. But man, it just reminds you of how old you're getting.
Okay, how real life is real.
Right. Life is real life. We get ready to send out into this Trump infested world.
Ooh, life is life and for real. So while life is life, and we wanted to say that happy birthday. I see some people checking in already, and y'all know who she's always on time, guys. If she late, then something ain't right. If my mom is not on, the feed is not correct. That means something is not happening. So we want to say good morning to all of our people on Facebook. We want to say good morning to our YouTube family. We want to say good morning to our Instagram and WVTC TV network family and friends. We appreciate you all for checking in. It's another Monday. It's another mind transformational, mind motivational, get your life right Monday. And you are sitting very comfortably in the visionary boardroom where only like-minded individuals can sit at this table. Only like-minded people can sit at this table. My sister is back, y'all. Sis, what you been doing since you've been off the journey, sis? Since she's been absent from the table because she is really taking care of the business. But I do want to say publicly and privately, thank you so much. Because when you're not here, your presence is still here and you're still doing the work. You sent the young man from Impact to the event. And I want to say thank you because Sister Kim was holding it down. But my sister didn't even tell me, hey, I'm going to send my young men over there to the event. And they showed up. And yes, they showed up at Future Tides. And I just wanted to say thank you because that meant a lot. That meant a lot to even support. So when she's not even in the building, that's because she's working. Sis, what you been out in these streets doing?
Man, just trying to keep a leveled head out here and keep it moving. Slaying demons,
She said slaying demons. I know, right? Okay.
Whenever they pick up their little head,
yeah, you got
walking
to
through the streets and family was attacked with the flu and building attacked with just different
just
stuff.
nonsense. Just nonsense. Shenanigans on the journey.
Yes, I say keep you an attorney on speed dial.
Since it was getting that
heavy. Yeah, I had to get
it was getting real in these streets.
Seriously, like another level. Another, when they say that you don't think, but just from a business standpoint, just helping people understand the enemy gonna attack. When you go to another level, you got to come with a different set of protections, both spiritually and naturally. Getting another set of insurance because people will sue you.
Girl,
absolutely. So now I got to get insurance that protects you from being sued from somebody. That's crazy. And then you got to get an attorney. I had a guy, just real demonic activity with a guy suing me based on a complete lie that I owe him. He have a contract with somebody else, and my landlord won't sign my agreement because he put a mechanic lien on the building. So I had to get an attorney for that.
Wow.
Yes.
So
get you an attorney.
Okay, so sis, how did you go about being able to maneuver through all of this? How did you seriously? Because this is serious.
Just seriously, like praying for the right attorney, one that work with mechanics liens, and just hearing and obeying what I needed to do for this ministry. But it's ministry. When you're doing the work of God, the enemy is coming for you and he is not playing, especially if you got other open doors. But yeah, I had to definitely get an attorney. I mean, and I remember being in college and they always said, you want to make sure you have a great CPA and a great attorney. And it's been difficult to find great attorneys. So start getting referrals. If you out there in the business world, even just personally, stuff happens. You want to make sure that you have an attorney on call, that you can reach out to, and a good one. Don't just don't get anybody willy-nilly, because I had a horrible attorney. I'm reporting her to the ARDC to get my money back actually this week. But get you a great attorney. Start reaching out to people and getting a great referral for attorneys for things that could possibly happen.
It's not a season of lay down.
Oh, no.
It's not a season of lay down. And I think a lot of us, we've laid down too long on the journey. Good morning, Auntie Pat. Good morning. She said, I'm blessed by the best. Yes, you blessed by the best. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Teresa. Appreciate you, my sister, Teresa Thornton. Teresa and I was nominated a few weeks ago, sis, for Women's History Month. So remember I talked about that, and we went to Leo High School to have our breakfast. and receive our actual nominations and things of that nature and be recognized. So I was in a room full of 30 plus dynamic women.
Ooh, phenomenal.
Phenomenal women. So
A lot of networking.
A lot of great networking. So Yolanda, I want to say thank you so much to Yolanda Horton as well, for actually posting my information. I was on Leo's social media page and all of those things. So it hit different when it comes from your own community.
Yeah.
It really does. It hit different. And I hadn't been back in those walls since I was a cheerleader.
Wow.
So that's why, I was like, man, I started out cheering for Leo. I came out of grammar school in 86. So 87, 88, 89, 90. I was there all 4 years in those walls.
Yeah.
So from 87 to 90. And
what a great thing to end Women's History Month.
Yes, it was to end Women's History Month. Yes,
in your own walls.
In my own walls, y'all, back in my community where the roots started. Y'all, I'm telling you, from Inglewood to the 79th Street, y'all, the 9. I am from the city. I am that little girl, that little black girl from 78th and Hamilton. I say it all the time. Yes, I'm that little black girl, and look at me now. Yeah. Look at me now. So yes, I appreciate it. Big ups to Leo High School as well as the principal, Dr. Shaka Walls, Dr. Shaka Rawls. The thing of it is Dr. Rawls' sister and I, Kiana Rawls, she was on the cheerleading team with me. So she was class of 91, I was class of 90. And then Shaka was her brother, and he was up under us. So him and my cousin Shelvin, all of them was in the same age group. So again, he's the principal now of the high school. And so when I saw him, I was like, doctor, he was like, I know who you are. I know who you are. So it was really good to see, that brother doing really well. Those young men over at Leo is doing really, really well. So again, to be amongst other people that was in the room that I knew as well, some other ladies there. But one of my old principals was there. So it was just to be among people that you like, oh, I can sit at the table too. Yeah. So it felt good. So again, thanks so much to Leo High School. Thank you so much to, they're going on 100 years.
Wow.
They're going on 100 years to be still standing Catholic. A whole lot of them closed.
Yeah.
Because I came from, Catholic. I came from All Girl Academy of Our Lady.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And we're no longer in existence. It's a different school now. It's a charter school.
Oh.
So a lot of the archdiocese closed.
It's a lot of archdioceses closing. Maybe because of all those lawsuits, huh?
Girl, you know what? I'm not gonna start with you this morning.
You do see a lot of them closing. But going back to Women's History Month, the shout out to Ellen Turner from William Everett. She had me as a featured author for her Women's History Month event.
Okay.
So shout out to William Everett and their community, Black woman-owned business for IT and financial consulting right here in Chicago. Proud to support.
Thank you. So let's see some comments of what our people are saying this morning. We got some comments coming in. So mom said, good morning, beautiful ladies. Happy Monday morning. I'm blessed and glad to be alive today. We are too. Teresa said good morning as well. Auntie Pat, she said, good morning, beautiful ladies. Happy Monday. Teresa said, yes, it was a great celebration. Yes, it was, Teresa. It was a great celebration. And so we thank you guys so much for joining us. We thank you. So my sister said she got her recognition too as being an author. Talk about that book, sis, again, because we got to keep that in the forefront now, y'all. We talk about monetization. Let's keep that in the forefront. Talk about the book that you wrote, sis.
So my book is After Fairy Tale, My Escape from Corporate America. So starting your own business and leaving corporate, what's your pathway out?
Right.
My pathway was get out. Get out or go to jail. You
said get out or go to jail. OMG, because all you could see was red. I could see red. I was going red when the people start talking crazy. I could just see red.
I mean, and it's a shame that now that we have our new administration and people feeling froggy nowadays.
They want to leave. Yeah, people want to leave.
We really trying to take it back to Jim Crow. And a lot of people not feeling that. A lot of people are not feeling going out there and dealing with racism. And it's a shame we are in 2025 and they trying to take us back to Jim Crow era.
Wow. Wow.
Like, can we really like just sit on that? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Again, I ask the question all the time, what's holding you back from your next? You know, greatness is not about popularity. It's not about tweaks. Greatness is when God's alignment of your purpose meet up. And oftentimes we don't know what our purpose is because we still trying to live the life of what we were told. You know, go to school, get a good education, get a good job, and go work for the man, you know. But nowadays we need to tap more into our kids' talents and allow them to navigate, but don't take the ring off of them. You know, guide them, but we don't do enough of that. And the reason why I said that, because last week, sis, I had to speak strongly about what legacy are we truly leaving behind? Are we still just mouthing mouth to mouth, or what are we really putting forth the effort to lead our people, lead our culture, lead our village, lead? And I said that because look at what's happening with the young people. Look at what's happening. I talked about the church. Where they at? Are they in the church? And then, you know, my brother Gerald chimed in and said, but when they bring them to church, they don't come to children's church. So what are we doing in our generation? Because it's our age that's leading, really.
Yeah, it really
we the parents now.
Yeah,
The forefront of the generation. When you see them down on Streeterville on Friday, tearing up, like, what are we doing besides buying Nikes and spending all of our income tax money on these kids, and we can't get them to programs like where you had your young men come to? We have programs, we have information, we pushing it out here, and all we want to say is we in undeserved communities not getting anything. That's a crap of a lie. Yeah. The undeserved communities is where the information where the parents at.
Yeah, the parents are truly lacking. And you know, when they started having the teen takeovers downtown, I knew that eventually one of them was going to get shot and killed. I knew that was coming, unfortunately, because it's our kids.
We're not pushing the job information, but we mad about immigration, or we mad about how many Latinos come into the system and in the brown communities and take over because we don't want to work.
Yeah, and we're not getting our kids prepared to work, and they don't want to do that.
So what? Okay, so if you said, let's talk about, you said the government, it's not gonna last. Everything that's is at our fingertips. Money, housing, education for those that's lacking, that's living off government assistance. That's not gonna be there for long. They asking you already now. You got to portray what job what job to get your stamps. You gotta start showcasing. You trying to get a resume. Yeah. You trying to work. So if you're not preparing yourself now, where you gonna be later?
Well, and then you got the parents that don't come to the school parent-teacher conference, don't care about what's going on with their kids, and we have a real issue with parenting. It's like, do we need to go out there and motivate the parents to care about the kids? You know, we came up in a community, you remember, 1950s and back, we cared about education. We educated as a community.
There you go.
Be in somebody's house, in the schoolhouse, getting an education. Now, parents don't care if their kids doing well or causing havoc in school. Is it the parents? Where do we start to penetrate where the issue is and really go after it? I think it's both.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's both, because you have to work with the parents and teach them how to parent, because the parents that we dealing with now are the ones that came up in the crack era.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, good morning, guys. Who else we got checking in? We appreciate you guys. We want you to chime in this morning on this conversation. We're trying to figure out, how do we close that gap? How do we close the gap? How do we get back to being a village, as well as how do we go back to being a true support system, a household, a community? We talk about the community works, but how do we go back to being neighborly and in a community to get the parents? So what I'm saying is, going back to being neighborly, that means that I parented like you parented. I can drop my kids off at your house and after school and pick them up and come home and we can pick up from where we all left off at. It was no, I got to get my child home and reprogram them. So help us, guys. We asking the question because we're trying to understand what happened over the weekend. If you guys are not familiar, they were down. It was the last day of spring break. And we talking warm weather, sis. It's gonna get warm. And all I'm saying is on my vision, my journey, we're gonna come with the information to inspire you, engage, to empower, raise awareness, educate, and mentor the community. And this is a moment we need to mentor to one another. This is a moment where the awareness has to be raised. And the question is on the floor. What are we really doing as a community? And how do we get back to being a community when there's programs and we can't get the kids in the door? When you have churches offering services and we can't get them into church.
We got to go get them and get that parental consent. Seriously, because if the parents not involved, then how the kids getting there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then just the awareness. I remember attending a great event for youth for underserved communities. It was so many resources there for them. I was like, where the kids at? Where the kids?
Right,
like
right,
all the adults was there, but
where's the kids?
Where the kids at?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, is the communication getting to the community?
Mm-hmm.
Is it getting to the underserved communities? Are
Mm-hmm.
we talking to the parents? Are we
Mm-hmm.
in the community, like
doing outreach?
Mm-hmm. You know, like literally out boots on the ground to tell all the great and wonderful things, because you know, initially, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's systemic racism. They taking away this. I mean, CHA residents get a plethora of opportunities. You know, I mean, to save money, to get a house, to get jobs, and to get all type of apprenticeship opportunities. They pay for school. CHA does. That's just, you know, one of the underserved communities. And then there's so many different programs from companies, you know, hopefully and prayerfully they're not being taken out through this new administration, but there's so many different opportunities to help people to achieve what they call the American dream. You know, nobody should be making less than $25 an hour because it's out here for you. Nobody should be, none of these kids should have to be out there broke. They have apprenticeships for them in high school.
So Mr. Gerald Miller said, what did you say, Gerald? My brother chimed in. He said, our kids are raising themselves.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. They are out here raising themselves as well as feeding themselves, clothing themselves. It's a lot of things that's going on. There's a disconnection because, again, we don't treat each other as humans. We treat each other as objects.
Yeah.
A lot of our youth don't have the parenting because their parents have expired. So you have another supposedly quote unquote family member, loved one to take care of that youth, but they see that youth as a paycheck. They don't see you, LaCoya, as you my niece, you my nephew. I see you as a state check because there's funding for you.
Yeah.
And as long as there's funding for you, you good to stay here. But when the funding stops, or now that you realize that there is funding and you of age now and you know, hey, you've been getting a check for me all along and you only been giving me a little bit of this and a little bit of that to survive.
Yeah.
Now I'm of age where I know that money can come to me now. And now you telling me. So a lot of that is what's happening.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Or I know now you get a check, but you've been pushing me outdoors doing human trafficking every night.
Yeah, unfortunately. Caleb's had a comment too. He said, how are the communities and churches engaging with the kids? Are the kids aware or do they value the resources being provided?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, do they value it? I'll say this, you know, working with youth at the group home, the boys that I have, they definitely are valuing it. I think they just needed to know about the resource. A lot of people think that these kids out here, I just want to be in a gang. I got a total gun. They're living in a war zone, you know, and they don't have the real parents that's out there that really care like that. So yeah, they're toting a gun and they robbing, carjacking. So I found out from some ex-gang members that they carjacking not because they want to steal your car, but they need a place to sleep at night. So they carjack you so they can sleep in your car to stay warm because it's wintertime in Chicago where we're just coming into spring. But yeah, if you notice, carjackings be on the rise in the wintertime in Chicago, and I never thought about that. So yeah, it's about them knowing about the opportunity, getting to the opportunity, being able to, you know, send them to the opportunity that's local in the community, and definitely got to reach out to the parents. And that's why I said boots on the ground. Who's telling these kids about that?
So I can say, you know, hats off again to Future Ties, as well as Jennifer Maddox over there for what she's doing and who she's partnering with. She does outreach. She has her teenagers doing the outreach. We have the parent mentoring program. We're in 7 CPS schools where we have our parents mentoring 4 days a week, 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week. We also have them on Fridays. They come to the 2-hour training on Fridays where I'm instrumental in reaching out and giving back the information. But again, even with it being a few feet away, it's in their backyard. It's in the backyard of where a lot of parents are young.
So let me ask you, you said 7 CPS schools. How many parents you got?
So again, no, I can proudly say we do have 45 plus parents in our program. We would love to extend it to more guys because what's happening is in our undeserved communities, these parents assist in the pre-K classrooms through 3rd grade, up to possibly 4th grade, with assisting the teachers, not trying to take over, not trying to do your job, but assisting us when we know that these schools are overstaffed with kids and understaffed with teachers, educators. So, in a lot of our schools, we are heavily with kids. And so we're talking a classroom of 15 plus, possibly.
Absolutely.
So they need that extra attention. You know, literacy. There is a literacy problem in the African-American community. Literacy, reading. You don't find many reading programs. You don't find many reading phonics. That's where we're lacking. They're lacking in phonics. They're lacking in sounding out and reading. Yes, can we get on the tablet and do real well by click, 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 click? But we don't. Our kids have again, that gap. But if I'm young and I didn't finish school, how can I help Lil Dante?
Yeah, that's true. That's the parents we're working with today. And that's the sad part. I know there
so
was
is that the 80 or the 20% that we're working with?
That's a good question.
I mean, and I want to get back, Caleb. Can we propose that? Can we pull up Caleb's question again? Okay, so engaging with the kids, and are the kids aware of the value that the resources that's being provided? I want to say yes, they do know what about the resources because we even do it at my church. You know, hats off to St. John. I am a part of the youth ministry with assistant, and it's up and down. I'm just gonna be honest, it's up and down. We have the programs. We bring a vocational Bible school back, but everybody is off on a vacation, sis.
But I guess you talking about the kids whose parents bring kids to church.
And the percentage of that is what? Is that the percentage of the parents that's not even out here getting the resources?
But we talking about the kids, the parents not coming to church and bringing their kids. We talking about the people that's
that's why I said hats off to my church because we have the programs, but they still don't bring them because us of our you know, I come, girl, so I'm gonna take me a vacation. Okay, but what about your child? That's all I'm saying, y'all. I'm saying we have two. What I'm saying, we have two dynamics. You have the going and the non-going. And the going and the non-going is almost in the middle. I'm just gonna be honest. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
The going and the not going is out. They both in the middle, because what I'm saying is we have those that are going, but you take a break when you feel like it too. And you don't bring nobody else because yours is covered and good.
See. Yeah, bring them to church in the community.
Huh?
Bring them to church.
Because we ain't gonna act like some of us on here watching. We go every Sunday. How often you done invited somebody else to go with you?
Yeah, and then
I'm being guilty. No, I'm just saying.
You got to
no, I have invited. I
Yeah.
have invited. No, I have invited. But what I'm saying is, everybody is busy. So I'm not segregating who doing. What are we doing?
Well, let me throw in another one too. We always expecting as the church for people to come to us. Why we not going out?
Oh, somebody said that last week. Okay, Teresa, what did Teresa comment on? Teresa commented and said, my mom actively searched for summer programs for me.
Absolutely. I'm doing that for mine. I'm like, okay, they doing volleyball, there's reading camp, there's math camp. We do as well. The grandparents bring the kids, not the parents. Yeah. Yeah, you just said that one, right? Right.
So, and what I want to say is, when you asked about the parenting program, and you asked how many parents we have, 45 plus strong. But gonna say the age range is all over. But we do have more seasoned than we have young. That's in the program. Retired, want to volunteer, or the grandparents and saying, these my grandkids in the school. Let me go and see what's happening and still be involved. So what I'm saying, it takes all of us.
Yeah. Boots on the ground. We need all the people.
Where my friends? Boom.
We need all the people in the church to come into the community. Every corner, every church that's sitting in the community need to go out and help the community. You can't just invite them to church. They want to come to church when they see you out in the community doing what you're supposed to do. Because I promise you, the Bible say, come ye out. What's that? Matthew 28. Share it. Tell you to come out. Come out the church. We are the church. You know, ministry need to take place in the community. Bring the message and bring the teaching, bring the resources outside to the community. Yeah, because we always expect that people come to the church, people not going to church.
You're right. We got to go outside the wall. So Caleb said again, do you think the kids being aware of the resources also depends on their church attendance? It can hinder how many people it reaches. Okay.
I could definitely agree with that. Yeah.
So what you say, sis?
I could definitely agree with that. Just,
So you have young at home. How do you, I
take them.
You take them.
Yeah. And and we drive a good 45 minutes away to go to church. And
so there's no excuse in your house. So we get everybody going.
Yeah. And and I'm one of those parents. My kids know about entrepreneurship. I teach at home. I teach Black history at home. I teach business at home. I educate my kids because I'm that parent. I'm involved. Some parents are not involved like that.
So back to the basics.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to go back. How do we get the parents?
Okay.
How do we get the parents to even, and if they don't want to be involved, you still have to have a relationship with them, because you got to have a waiver to take their minor child to go and do anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true nowadays.
And it's not enough teachers in the school to work with those parents. You can't go in and take those lists. How do you intercept?
Again, there was the choices, again, we putting limitations on our kids, and then we giving them choices. And back then there was structure.
Right.
Well, now we don't want to call it structure.
Yeah.
That was structure. That's what the structure was.
Yeah.
And it worked for us.
Yeah.
But we don't want to I understand leniency, but again, it shouldn't be what I say you should do. But there shouldn't be choices where they no, not like that as a young person.
But you got people that's not out here parenting. Being a part of the Department of Children and Family Services here, there are a plethora of kids that's out here that's not just on neglect or those type of things, but you got parents out here that just gave their kid up because they scared of them.
I know that's right.
You know, you have kids out here that have just gone astray because of the lack of parenting.
Mm.
You know, we are working with the 80s babies.
The 80s babies.
You know, they are teenagers and grown now, you know, coming of age, and nobody was there to help raise them in that era. So now you're seeing the result of that.
So, sis, for information and resources, what's one of the links that you would send a person to? Because I know, guys, there is case management opportunities out here. Good morning, Ramon Perry. Thank you for checking in. You know, when we talk about the undeserved, we talk about the community, all of those things. There is many centers and information out here. I see it every day where people come in and looking for the resources of educational classes, mental therapy, housing programs, jobs, resume writing, mock interviews, all of those things. So on your side of what it is that you're seeing with businesses, and like you said, you was being attacked from all those situations that was happening. What kept you grounded though, just to say, I'm not gonna throw in the towel?
I mean, I'm in my mission. I'm in my purpose. This is ministry for me to help these boys, and I am helping them. They're going to driving school starting this week. They're getting the life skills that they need. Every young man should be able to go out and drive. Giving them college and career readiness, a job coach that they can talk to and get their resume applications out there. There's a plethora of resources, and anybody listening, Unite Us is a website.
Unite Us.
Yep, Unite Us is.
I'll have make sure they put it up on the screen. Can you guys make sure Unite Us? Okay, so
Unite Us, and basically that you could put in zip code and get any type of non-for-profit information that you need for your community.
Okay.
I want to make sure that if it's a org or community care, yep, it is uniteus.com.
Okay.
Yep, it's uniteus.com. And basically you could put in a zip code and pull up any type of resource or help that that's needed, and it'll pull up right in their zip code. You can look up assistance by zip code. And you also have any non-for-profit that you're near, like Metropolitan, Urban League. They have all type of different programs. They have the apprenticeship.
The Metropolitan Family Services?
Yeah, Metropolitan Family
Metropolitan Family Services. Okay.
Yeah, all of these big non-for-profits that's supposed to be, they provide pre-apprenticeships, apprenticeship classes, and even these charter schools and these alternative schools that the youth are going to, they have programming there where you could be at ComEd. I mean, if you're going to the job fairs and you go to any non-for-profit gathering like fair, a lot of the job fairs have the non-for-profits and the underserved communities to tell you what they have going on, and they have some really great programming. Now the question is, are they really doing the programming?
right. So as well as the Chicago Park District is starting to hire.
Yep.
I put that information up last couple of weeks ago about the Chicago Park District is hiring. Also, we do know CTA is in their internship program, so most of the students are starting to interview for those positions. So as we hear the information and we receive the information, we'll get it to you. But my question to you, sis, is how many young scholars do you have in your group home?
Oh, we have 7.
7. Okay. And their ages are from
15 to 17.
15 to 17. How long have they been there? The longest one you've had so far? November. Okay. How do you know if you're reaching them?
Through the behaviors.
Okay.
You know, we had people to come in and say, oh, if you take that child, don't call me to get them out. And you know, some of them are the best kids. You know, I mean, the hardcore coming straight from juvenile detention center have been phenomenal. I mean, and they really want change. They really want to do something different. They don't want to be out here in these streets like that. They follow the rules. We really haven't had a great deal of issues with them, but when they're excited about new things that we bring to them, like I had Dr. Aries in for etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
So she came in and did some etiquette classes for us.
Mm-hmm.
And one was resistant, but the other they were interested in what she had to say, and they
Mm-hmm.
learned
Mm-hmm.
a lot,
Mm-hmm.
from her, and they were able to receive that. We have mentors that come in and they're able to receive that and get that positive. We're constantly planting seeds
Mm-hmm.
of growth because they haven't been exposed to. I had one of the boys, he was had his hand on a pancake, cutting it, pulling it
Slicing it.
apart.
Uh-huh.
No knife, no fork. I was like, and that's what made me like, oh no, you need some etiquette classes.
Right. They don't know. They don't
Right.
know
So they were able
to start
to
learning how to utilize
yes, that's
their
a life skill.
utensils.
I don't want him to be 25 years old, go to a dinner with a young
With a
and you
young lady can't cut a
you
pancake
using
and
your
can't.
hand.
Right. So these are life skills that, so again, before we can down them, we need to help them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And before we, you know, start talking about them, we need to get them into the structure. And the reason why I'm asking what are we doing, because a lot of us is hightailing it and highfalutin it with our degrees and all these things, and we're failing to do our part too. And if I can call it out on my own platform, I would say I'm calling it out because it's not what I'm just hearing, it's what I'm seeing and experiencing because I'm out here. Like my sister said, boots on the ground. And I see it, but I don't see enough of us. We're doing a lot of talking and flying and taking trips, but we're not getting the people in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm saying from all walks of life.
Yeah.
We're more about the business of our hair and our nails and our lashes and eyebrows than we are about our kids.
About our community, period.
About
And
our about
this is
even
our
just
future.
right down to basic hygiene. We had to pollute it, but our kids look like anything and smell like anything. So as back to the basics is what we need to get to, guys. And we don't have all the answers, but I appreciate you guys that did chime in. I appreciate you all. We love you all for checking in with us at WVTC, My Vision, My Journey. But over the summer, it's my plea, it's my hopes that we'll start still flooding the information. Guys, we cannot send the information if you don't have it to us. So please continue to send us the information so we can get it posted. We want the information to be running across the bottom of our feed as to what's happening over the summer of programs, locations where we can get our kids in the building so they can be safe. WVTC, I know is starting a summer program as well. We would love to have the youth here so they can be behind the cameras and learn editing and all of those things. We need to do something with our kids, guys, get them off the streets. And if you want to put them on the streets, put them on the street with a lemonade stand. Put them on the streets with some smoothies or something that they can start reaping benefits. Get downtown and get them a vendor license. City of Chicago, research a vendor license so that they can be licensed and they can be legal and start from the beginning. But if you don't know, reach out to us, LaCoya LaShawn or Mrs. Bell. We have the resources, or we will provide the resources, or we will stay boots on the ground till we can get the resources to you so that you don't be out here blindly. Lastly, I want to say thank you to everybody that gave to the donation drive. I want to say thank you so much to my peeps that showed up, guys. Y'all know at Future Ties, we are doing our spring donation supply drive so that we can make sure we clean up the exterior of the building, because we all know going green clean is going to be national in April. So I want to say thank you so much to Pamela. I want to say thank you so much to Miss Shauna Jenkins, Julia, Evelyn, Sharice, Tracy, Dina, Nettie, Susan, Sophia, Rita, Diane, Sharon, Mom, Auntie Pat, Chuck Gordon from the Family Den, and everybody that showed up, Courtney, as well as Cherie and my peeps. I want to say thank you guys so much for dropping off supplies, as well as the money donations, and as well as to my husband that brought in some bags and some gloves as well. So thank you so much, Mr. Bell. I appreciate you guys. And to my WVTC family, we love you guys so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you check out my brother, Ramon Perry, on Thursdays. Make sure you check out my other brother, Mr. Gerald. He's on Mondays, guys. And sis, we'll be back next week. Yes. What you going to have for us next week?
I don't know what might drop in the spirit on that day.
Okay, what might drop in the spirit on that day? But in the meantime, guys, you can always check her out, LaCoya LaShawn, on her page, the information that she has for you, as well as get the book. Where's the book, sis? How can I get the book?
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com is called
F the Fairy Tale, My Escape from Corporate America.
F the Fairy Tale, My Escape from Corporate America, guys. Make sure you get with her. And we appreciate you guys on WVTC. We appreciate you on My Vision, My Journey to the man above, who allow us to be who we are, 365, 24/7. We say thank you to my parents that laid that foundation. Appreciate you. And to my American Express card, my front, my right, my left, my back, Mr. Bell, love you. And to my WVTC and all my fans,